Hello YouTubers, coming to you today with another video. I haven't been on this channel in a long time, hence just life in general and me not really wanting to film. But my channel is going to be a little bit of everything in the beginning. Don't know really what my niche is gonna be. I love a lot of different things. I'm into a lot of different things. So some of these videos will have to deal with documentaries. I want to try to do some documentary reviews in the future, because that's something I'm really into. Travel videos about like the actual like planning stages of a trip and what I did on a trip, and pictures and small videos of things like that. I don't know if it really be a blog, but more so like videos is very helpful to help people plan for the trip of a place like I've already been or I'm going to or something like that, or somewhere I've already been pretty much. This video, if you clicked on it, then you already know that it's a semi-travel video to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands that I just recently went to. I call it a semi-solo trip because technically I flew by myself. I stayed at a hotel by myself. I had to do taxis and I did some different excursions and adventures by myself. But one of my best friends from college, she actually came to St. Thomas as well, but she stayed on another part of the island. She didn't do everything with me, and she actually brought her boyfriend. So we were a little separated. Most of the time she got there a little before me and left a little after me. So I call it semi-solo travel because I technically was by myself a lot of the time I was there, but then there was other times I was with her. So again, this video is just to try to give you an in-depth of everything I did, give you all of the lowdown on St. Thomas and traveling specifically St. Thomas during COVID, and all those different things. So if you have any questions, please leave them below. This is something that I've really loved to start doing now, is planning trips. I've gone different places, like I've gone to Nicaragua, I've done Puerto Rico, I've gone a couple cruises, I've done Jamaica before, and I never, for some crazy reason, I never documented it or never did a video like this. And I know every time I start traveling and I start planning for a new trip, I always go to YouTube to search out people who have done or who have gone to the places that I'm going to. And so I'm like, well, Shayna, like you could be helping people as well, because you're always looking for other people who help you decide what you want to do while you're there, or if that's a good place to go. So that's kind of where this video is going. Also want to shout out to another YouTuber. I can't remember her name, but I'll try to remember to put it down below. But she kind of encouraged me to try to do a solo trip, because the trip eventually started off as a solo, and my best friend kind of tagged along in a sense. And so that's kind of why it started to be not so much a solo trip anymore. But I can't remember her name, but I'm gonna tell you, but she went to St. Thomas completely by herself, solo. And her video was kind of skewed towards the why you shouldn't go solo. So in this video, I'm gonna go through my experience, tell you everything I did, how I did it, and then I'm gonna kind of pick on some points that she made in her video that I either did something different or I kind of modify what she did. I think that made my time there a lot better than hers. But if you type in YouTube solo travel St. Thomas, her video will come up. And she is a millennial black female, just as I am too. I'm in my late 20s. So I think we have some parallels there. So I will kind of help you with that. So if you're planning a trip during COVID for St. Thomas, please watch this video. And again, like I said, watch hers and kind of get some of the pros and cons that both of us had. And yeah. As like I said before, you know, comment, subscribe. I don't really know what this channel is going yet. I'm currently still in the United States, but I will be moving soon. So I'm going to be trying to make a lot of videos about my travels with that as well. So we'll see where this channel goes. So first thing first, went to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. And during COVID, I went at the end of July. It is now August, so I'm not sure when you're seeing this video. It's August of 2021 right now, so I'm filming this video, but I went July 2021. So the first things first with St. Thomas, it is a territory of the United States, so you do not have to have a passport. But what I will tell you is that if you bring your passport during this trip, if you're going on, it'll actually be very beneficial to you. Let me tell you why. I'll tell you that leaving. I'll write that down to tell you about leaving when you have your passport. Or now I'll go ahead and say it because I'm kind of sporadic too. Things come to mind. I kind of circle back around sometimes. So, bear with me. So if you do bring your passport, you will have an easier exit out of the airport when you're actually departing. All right. When you're departing to the airport, you are going to, and even on your flight coming into St. Thomas, my pilot, I flew Delta, they actually told us whenever you're leaving, make sure you're at the airport 3 hours before. And I will tell you why as we get through. I'm going to try to start from like the beginning of when I started planning the trip, when I was like, okay, I want to go on this trip, to like the COVID measurements and all this kind of thing. I have like little notes here, so I'll try to, keep with that. But so the first things first is, so when I said I was going to St. Thomas is territory of the United States. Their COVID measures where you had to have a PCR, a rapid antigen, pretty much any type of COVID-19 test at least 5 days before you were going to depart. All right, to go to St. Thomas, okay? So you had to have that, and there's a website, you just type in Google and type in St. Thomas COVID or St. Thomas COVID, precautions or regulations or something, it should come up for you. All right, so there at that site, when you have your test results, I did a PCR. I got my results back in like a day and a half because I flew out of Atlanta. That's where I was based, was Atlanta. So I flew out of Atlanta on a nonstop flight through Delta. I will go ahead and tell you that Southwest does not fly to St. Thomas. When I was researching my flights, I only found Delta, which Atlanta is a Delta hub, so it's just kind of obvious to go with Delta for me. But Delta, American Airlines, and I think there was Spirit also that I saw that flies to St. Thomas. Once I kind of added everything up, I don't fly Spirit. So once I kind of added everything up, and so this dog is beside me, Gorda. This dog. Okay, so my sister's dog is actually right there looking on me. But so I don't fly Spirit. So it was either American Airlines or Delta for me. Since again I flew out of Atlanta, Delta was the best option. My friend she actually flew from Mississippi, her best option was American Airlines. So that's actually where she ended up flying from. 1 second, because this dog opened the door. Okay, so anywho, so she did American Airlines, her and her boyfriend, and I did Delta. So I did my PCR. She did a rapid test. Online, they'll tell you all the ones that you can take that actually qualify to be able to get into the territory or whatever. It might have changed now. Not sure when you're watching this video and what's going on with COVID right now. Again, videos, you may be watching this 2-3 years from 2021. Don't know. But during COVID, you had to do that. So you upload it to their St. Thomas travel COVID site, and then they would get back to you and tell you if you're approved. Now, my friend, she flew out on a Sunday, and I flew out on a Monday. She, with her rapid antigen test, she got her confirmation from St. Thomas Travel Fund literally I would say maybe 2 days later. But me, I actually had to contact them again to make sure my stuff got approved because for some reason, I guess maybe high traffic coming from Atlanta. So I just literally emailed them and they were like, oh yes, you're approved, confirm. So you have this little QR code that they give you, or this confirmation email that says you're confirmed. You have to have that before you get on the plane. If I better say in Atlanta, you go through security, you go all through that. And before we got on the plane, they checked it, or I know for sure they checked it when we got to St. Thomas. As soon as you got off the plane in St. Thomas, there was a separate area where you had to walk through first that you had to show them their QR code. They scanned it and they let you in. So I will let you know for sure, you will not be getting into St. Thomas without that code, without that QR, without that confirmation. Now, I know I traveled to Puerto Rico Thanksgiving of 2021 during COVID.
It was
not
2020. It was Thanksgiving.
That's a whole other video though.
And
they said you had to do certain things, but ended up not being that strict. But I will tell you for sure, St. Thomas is no brainer. You have to do that. Okay. So that's what you need first when you are thinking about saying something. You're starting to plan your trip. Know that you have to get some type of COVID test at least 5 days before your departure there. All right. So get on the plane. All is good. It's about a 3-hour flight. So I will tell you that if you're someone who's only done like an hour and a half, 2 hours, it's a 3-hour flight. For me, it felt a little long because I haven't been on a plane since Christmas of 2020, and it's now, I think that's the last time I went on a plane. I think it's been a minute during COVID, but that 3 hours did feel like 3 hours to me. It was almost 4, honestly. It's about 3.5 now I think about it, from Atlanta. It was a nonstop for me. So about 3.5. So we got off the plane, you do the little QR code, you get everything, you go get your luggage. I will say this, as soon as I got there to get my luggage, if you're getting to the airport and you don't already have like taxi set up or you don't have anyone coming to pick you up, you need to make sure that you try to be one of the first people to get your luggage off of the luggage little tram thing, because there's going to be taxis lined up outside of the airport, and they're going to be going to different hotels. And the way they kind of did it when I was there, I saw that they'll have, this taxi is going here, this taxi is going here, and as you walk out, they'll ask you where you're going, and they'll be like, okay, that taxi is going to this hotel, that taxi is going to that hotel. But also, if you go ahead and get your luggage first, you have a better chance to actually get out of there and get in there to your hotel as soon as possible versus everybody else is flooding through. Something else I noticed that me and my friend noticed, because she came in on that Sunday and I came in on that Monday, we noticed that most of the flights come in at like around the same time. So when I was coming in on Delta, there was like a Spirit flight that had either just landed or was there was deplaning or deboarding when we were too. I saw the American Airlines flight, so they all kind of come in around the same times. So that is some, again, why I would say, get your luggage as soon as possible, so you can get in your taxi as soon as possible. All right, so taxis. Let me get to, I'll say hotels. So I'll first start with my hotel. And I'll be putting in, pictures and stuff as I, edit the video or whatever. So the hotel that I stayed in was Emerald Beach Bay Hotel. Emerald Bay Hotel. It's literally like walking distance from the airport. Literally walking distance. That is what they call the east side of the island, if I'm not mistaken. That's the west side of the island. The west side of the island. So my hotel was walking distance within the airport. So let me tell you about the hotel. Now, when you look online and you type in Google, you might not get the best reviews. I'm just going to be honest with you. But I took a chance. My friend, she booked stuff at the last minute, and she's I think more bougier than she is when it comes to accommodations. She's getting there, but I think I tend to be. But I'm a person who I will skim a little bit on accommodations so I can do more activities and adventures. She doesn't really do activities and adventures. She's more of a person that just like will sit on the beach, drink, and eat all day, and that's it. But I'm a person who I gotta go, I want to see everything, I want to do everything. So I'm a person who will scale back on accommodations and spend more money on excursions and adventures. So when you look online at Emerald Bay, and I'll put everything down kind of in the link. When you look online, you might not see the best reviews. But I took a chance and I was like, you know what? It's only me. Again, I stay by myself. I got the cheapest option, which was 1 king bed. And with taxes, fees, and everything included, because they do resort fees, they charge you also per person. I paid like almost $700 for 3 nights. So I stayed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and my flight left on Thursday evening-ish. All right, so I paid almost $700 by myself, like I said, with just 1 king bedroom for 3 nights. My friend stayed at Bluebeard's. I will get to hotels a little later because I'm the type of person that I do a lot on trips. I try to see everything, do everything, even including hotels. So I actually have a lot of information on hotels for you guys as well, because I stayed in a different hotel than my friend. And then I actually, because of taxis, I actually got to see a couple of the other hotels, because people who would get in taxis with me, they were going to other hotels. So I kind of have a really good opinion and recommendation for you as far as areas. Some of them I didn't get to go into, but I have, the deeds on the hotel I stayed on and the deeds that my best friend's hotel. So I will get to that. But let me go back to Emerald Bay. So Emerald Bay was like walking distance. You'll see the pictures and stuff in the video. It was awesome. I would tell you this. It was right on the beach. One reason why I also went with this hotel, because when I was looking for hotels, only 2 hotels that I found on the whole island was actually beachfront. It was the one I stayed at, and it was another one called Belungo Bay. Belungo Bay was a little bit more expensive. I would say it was running almost $1,000 a night. I think my hotel was almost $300 a night, depending on, taxes, fees, and stuff. But Belungo Bay was about $200 more than a night than my hotel. Then there was one other hotel that wasn't open yet because of the storm about 2 or 3 years ago. They were still bidding on it, but I think there's actually going to be a brand new hotel that's like a Marriott or something, that if you're watching this video now, it may already be open to the public, because one of my taxi drivers was telling me about it. But those were literally the only 3 hotels that were beachfront. All right, everything else was like more in the city. So that was a selling point for me. I love sand, sun, and fun. So anywhere I choose to stay on any type of vacation that has a beach, I want to be like right on the beach. So that was one thing why I picked my hotel. 2, I picked it because it was a good price. It wasn't extremely expensive. And then another thing is, when we booked, I started planning for this trip early June, which was still kind of late, because I actually wanted to fly out on that Sunday, but I couldn't find a hotel room for that Sunday. The hotel I ended up staying at, they had everything booked up for that Sunday, although I flew out that Monday. So that's another thing. Please start in time, especially during COVID. All right, so got to the hotel. Check-in process was cool, whatever. So went to my room. You'll see pictures and videos through here. Went to my room, opened the door, and was like, this is nice. Another thing about the hotel room that I stayed in, every single room at this particular hotel, it has a balcony and has a view of the water. That was another selling point for me. So I chose that. Also, I would say this too. I could be wrong, but I feel like it has something to do with it. I only seen one other lady on YouTube actually show the room that she was in, and the video she took was like, made me be like, no. I haven't seen anybody else do a tour of this hotel and actually show you like a lot of the views and stuff like that. So again, if I can't get the video, because I'm new to this editing and all that, if I can't get the video to be embedded in this video, I will post like a separate small video showing you the videos of the hotels and stuff like that. So that was another point. So again, it was beachfront. The price was good. And every room had a balcony. Every room had a view of the ocean. Also, another selling point, it had 2 restaurants in it. It had like a more formal restaurant where you could get food like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then it had like a little beach bar where you could just get like snacks and stuff. So that was another selling point for me on why I chose this hotel. I would recommend this hotel. Like I said, the reviews online weren't the best. I do think that has something to do with if you chose like a double bedroom versus a king bedroom. Because when you think about it, more than likely, most people, when they go to hotels, they're getting double beds. Because most people, when they're traveling probably with kids or other family members, or they're trying to save on money. So they're putting more people in the room. So I will say, I feel like the double bedrooms probably were not as nice as the king size bedrooms, because you're thinking about, you have more traffic in your double bedrooms. Also, another reason why I feel like my room was probably better than, which was just a king, than a double bedroom, is because the way the hotel was structured, all the 1 king bedrooms, to my understanding, were on like, if you're looking at the hotel, we're on like the left side of the hotel, and then the double bed ones were on the right. So I feel like that had something to do with it too. That I had a better view. I literally, from my balcony, you'll see pictures, I literally was like right beside where I could see. If I look to the right, I could see like all the beach chairs. I'm like literally right here by the ocean. I could see the jet skis, I could see tubing, I could see all of that from my balcony. I was on the 2nd floor. So that is something else to think about. I would say if you can book a king size room instead of a double, you're probably gonna have a nicer, cleaner, like more, like not as use as much room compared if you do a double bedroom. But I think that's probably most hotels, because more people are doing double beds. So that covers the hotel. Trying to see. So all the other hotels, I'll get to the other hotels. The other hotels that I actually was able to see was Bunker Hill, Belongo Bay, Bluebeards or Bluebirds, kind of weird. Emerald Bay, which is where I stayed at. There was like 2 more that I saw. Trying to remember because I didn't write those 2 down. But there was a whole bunch of different. Let me go to the next one.
Part 2 is on my page as well. I had to stop this video because it was running a little long. So part 2, as I get into more details, is on my page as well.